Ian, the Codgers are back, and we're in our natural environment, a pub. Well, wonderful, isn't it? We've been travelling a lot of late, all over the place. I had a drink in a bar in Barcelona and woke up in San Francisco. I was sort of shanghaied in reverse. And while I was there, among other things, I went to look for the Google barge, which is, you know, a big deal.
Yeah.
But it turns out,
cool.
Very rusty. Turns out that this place called Treasure Island, which is sort of halfway across where the Bay Bridge, a bit of it lands goes on. It used to be there, but Google, thinking they could do anything they wanted to do, said, well, we're going to do this, we're going to build this, and actually the Bay Conservation people, the Coast Guard and the State Environmental Agency said, if you don't clear off with it, we're going to evict you. So they took it to Stockton, which is all the way around through the bay into one of the inland ports of California. Mm-hmm. They're paying $12,000 a month to moor this thing for 6 months. Now look at 6 months.
What's on it, this barge?
Well, it looks like, well, there's a picture of it here, as we can see. It looks like a big black barge with sort of containers at a tilt, and it's very, very strange. And this is what they say they're going to do with it. This is what they said. It's been a busy 6 months for our barge, and it has grown tired of all the attention. So we're moving it to Stockton, where it can have a break, enjoy the city's delicious asparagus. I've never seen a barge eat asparagus, but there we are. And a warmer climate, and get a bit of rest before the next chapter in its life. Give me strength. Now, while I was away sunning myself in not very warm California, you were getting yourself all hit up about mobile comms and fought a crowd, you call it.
We've had
particular
exactly. Well, this is both sides of the Atlantic sort of story, actually, because strangely enough, the coincidence is that both things that happen. One in America, the Softbank, Miss Sanson, is trying to get the regulator there, which is of course the FCC and the other regulatory authorities, to allow it to take over T-Mobile, which of course is about the number 4. It's the number 3, and then it's got Verizon and AT&T at the top. And the argument is the usual argument, which is we can't make money if we've got too many players in this market, because we just end up driving the price down and we can't make any money and so on.
Yeah.
So, but what SoftBank is trying to do with Sprint and T-Mobile is he says, well, if you let us take it over, we'll compete even more effectively with 3 players.
Yeah, right.
Which, by a strange coincidence, is exactly the same thing that's happened in France over the past week, where Bouygues is taking over SFR, or merging with SFR really, and the other side of it is that Free, which is the disruptor in that market, gets to take over one of the networks.
Yeah.
But again, the consequences, you go from a 4 down to 3 players, and in France, of course, they're seeing this as a great thing because it takes pressure off pricing, and they think this is great, even though they're all saying, oh no, we're going to compete just as much as we did before. Nobody believes them, and all the stock market has put all the prices of all the telcos up because it realises they're all going to make more money after this.
Must say that having been in San Francisco and Silicon Valley the last couple of weeks, most of the time on T-Mobile America, it was pathetic.
Yeah.
You got calls all over the place, it wouldn't connect, it was really bad.
Yes.
So,
Yes, T-Mobile's got build-out issues and so on.
Sure
well,
has.
as Sprint does, of course, they're still building out.
Yeah, but if
there are lots of areas they don't even cover.
If they can't provide service in San Francisco or Silicon Valley, why can't you?
Well, that's very true, yeah. The other thing that's been happening, of course, when we're talking about relative strengths of networks, is there's a new survey which puts BT and the UK at the top of the big 5 in Europe.
It does. A great story for Blighty, by George, until the Scots leave. But Ofcom has come out with its latest broadband scorecard for 2014, European broadband scorecard, which puts Britain, the UK, up at the top of the take-up rate for superfast broadband in the top EU 5. The top EU 5 are France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and the UK, of course. And
well, this is the great untold story about Europe, actually. This is the thing that does get me innovated, is that there are really 2 Europes. There is the Europe of the big 5, and of course the UK comes out good against, France and Germany and Spain and so on. But the really good parts of Europe do much, much better than that in terms of broadband availability, coverage, price, everything.
Yeah.
And they tend to be the smaller countries like Denmark, Sweden, Lithuania, Bulgaria.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cases, but we do much better on those. That half of Europe does much better than America does, or the other half of Europe.
And again, referring back to having just spent a couple of weeks in the Western United States, the prices there are
Much higher.
somewhat savage. Yeah.
Yes.
And also while we were away, of course, CeBIT happened. CeBIT in Hanover, one of the coldest, most bleak shows on the planet. Horizontal snow most of the time, all the years we've been going there. But this year there was politics involved because Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor, and Dave, call me Dave Cameron, our beloved Prime Minister, were there. Pitching what?
Well, that's a good question. Pitching what? Well, Angela's got this idea. Of course, she's still a bit peed off about, the spying that went on.
Well, she was in East Germany. She knew the Stasi.
She knew the Stasi, and she's been spied on by the Americans. So she's still quite exercised about perhaps we need our own infrastructure, our own internet, which has, a higher level of security than the internet as a whole.
Yeah.
It's our little infrastructure, and we can apply our own rules to it. The problem is, of course, that Neelie Kroes is on the other side of this, which is she wants all of the infrastructure to be open, and really you can't do both things. They're either open or closed. They can't be both. So this is a bit of a conundrum. I don't think we're going to see us sort of fencing off our own infrastructure from the rest of the world in any meaningful way. But that's the current political winds, of course. And our friend Dave, he was there as well, giving away 45 million. And I pointed out in the story, 45 million is not really a great amount of money these days.
What was he giving 45 million away for?
Well, it's for research for M2M, apparently.
All right.
Which, okay, it's all right. It's something, but he went all the way there.
But why was he there? It probably cost 45 million to get him there and back with all his entourage.
All the security,
yeah. Exactly.
Yes. I'm sure you're right, Martyn. No, I think there's probably an election coming up. European election, I think it's called, isn't it?
Ours is next year. Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, obvious politicking. But it's funny in a way. It's the numbers get lost in this, and you get lots of publicity just for 45 million.
But CeBIT's still going.
CeBIT's an old and venerable show. It used to be called the Hanover Show years ago.
It did, the Hanover Messe, and how true that was.
We'll trim it. We'll make it snappier.
Yeah, that was all right. Trim it down. That's good.